Hi, my name's Sue Ellam, and I'm a tarot reader, and I have been for about 25 years. And in this collaboration with my friend here, I will be using the Mythic Tarot, which is based on Greek mythology.
Hi, and I'm Carrie Beleno, and I am adding my intuitive spin to Sue's readings, and I am an intuitive Reiki master teacher for a couple decades.
Yeah. And so Carrie and I have come together to answer your questions. So please, I don't know the questions ahead of time. So if you have got questions you'd like to ask, please do contact Carrie and let her know. But anyway, as I said, Carrie is a keeper of the questions, so it's over to her.
All right. This question is, can you tell us the appropriate timing or give some guidance around the appropriate timing of going within versus doing?
Something popped to my mind, but I will read the cards.
Okay.
Okay. We need to make sure that, with going when we're getting, this is literally about getting money and resources coming. So we're being given the opportunity to actually do the work that we need to do. It's a tricky one because we can go within, and then we think we're ready to do, and yet we're not. I think the doing bit comes to us when we're ready. We don't have to force it. It becomes very, very clear and very, very obvious when it's time to move forward. So here we are at the moment gathering the resources that we need and the wisdom and the knowledge that we need from being internal. And this is what's coming towards us to enable us to better do when that time comes. It's important not to take on more than we can physically handle, because if you do go off like half-mast and you say, okay, I've learned enough now, I'm out there, then you'll feel really overwhelmed because you won't have all the tools that you need in your arsenal. You might think you have, but it's like, for instance, you've taken up carpentry and you think, oh, I know it all now. And then somebody says, well, I want you to make this cabinet with all these different bits and pieces and stuff, and I want it to last 100 years. And you think, oh, crikey, I didn't do that course, I can put together a table. Is that any good? So it's that kind of thing. We learn, and then we do, and then we learn some more, and then we do. But if we try to push it, then we get overwhelmed, and there's just too much. We end up doing so. We don't end up doing anything well because we don't have time, or we don't have the knowledge. We don't have the groundedness either. You've got to be. It's interesting because when people are on a spiritual path, a lot of people think it's a bit fluffy. It's a bit kind of escapism. You don't want to deal with the real world, so you go up and float in the clouds. A spiritual path is tough. It's like as soon as you're on a spiritual path, more is expected of you, and the things that get thrown at you is nobody's business. And I know, I've been on this path for many, many years, and I've been, I said, but I've been a reader for 25, and there's no way that I could be doing what I do now 20 years ago, because over the time I've met people, I've learned, and it's all an accumulation. So don't go beyond your boundaries. You know, do as much as you can with the knowledge you have, but recognize you don't have all the knowledge you need. And in 20 years' time, God willing, I'll still be around, still be doing this, and I'll look back at this video and think, oh, I wish I'd known then what I know now. Right. We're all in a process. Just don't overextend yourself. Don't believe your own press. If people think you're wonderful, that's really very nice, but I'm not half as wonderful as I can and will be. Don't stop there. Here it is this is about, again, money. This is King Midas. But if you take everything in its stride and you don't overextend yourself, you don't take on more than you can physically handle, then you're going to end up with so much more than you can possibly imagine. Look after yourself as well. Keep grounded. Look after yourself on a physical as well as on a material level, you know, because we live in a material world. So, you know, we have to look after ourselves. And we've got this enthusiasm, excitement about not wanting to sit and wait for things to come to us. We want to go out there and adventure and have and explore the world and the world that's around us. Don't talk to people. Don't tell people what they don't need to know. We have got new ideas, and just keep your own counsel. Don't express yourself when you don't have to. But here it is. It's beginning of loving yourself a bit more. New projects, new things starting. So really, it's a growing process. And so, you know, a lot of times people will get courses and they'll buy a course and they'll do that and then they think they've made it. But it really is about not the bottom line is if you're not comfortable yet with doing something, don't do it until you're comfortable. You learn as much as you can, learn more than you need, and then do that. So do it gradually, but don't feel pressured into going out just because you've done a course. You know, it just means you've done a course, but you haven't got the life experience that will back it up. So just take your time, and you'll find the opportunities to do will come to you. It will be obvious. You won't have to go out and search for it. I hope that's been helpful.
Oh, I'm sure you're going to help a lot of people with that. And I'd like to kind of emphasize a couple of the points here. So the biggest one is you'll know what to do and when to do it when it's time. And so many of us are doers, and I'm definitely one of them. And the waiting, the patience is something that some of us have to work very hard at. But if you don't know what to do and you don't know when to do it, then it's not here yet. And that's a really important takeaway from this reading. The other piece too is that we've been given all of this downtime. We've been, like it or not, beneficial or not, we've been given this downtime. And I want to caution everybody about jumping right back on the hamster wheel. And I know that, and again, not trying to be trite, I know that finances are tough for a lot of people. I know that they're anxious to work. I know that people are anxious to get several jobs going again. But be cautious about jumping on the hamster wheel and giving up all of your within time. And going within just really means what do I love? What is my intuition telling me? What is my gut telling me? What do I feel is best? What do I feel is right? And checking in with that, even if you just do it, once a day in the morning. Don't lose sight of that really important step when you are returning to what we think we're going to call normal. And don't allow the hamster wheel to take over again. And also the last point that I'd like to stress as well is doing tends to make us take on more than we can handle. And again, being considerate of the downtime that you need, and it's not being selfish. It's necessary. So the other valid point, and that card's come up a couple of times now, is about not sharing all of your within or all of your intuitiveness or your feelings with everybody, because everyone will give you their thought or opinion, and it can sometimes energetically sway or emotionally sway you from what you heard or what you believe. So tell only your closest, if anyone at all, and just sit with the ideas. There you have it. That question was, how do we balance the timing of going within versus doing?
Yeah. I don't know about you, but when I have to do something, I get this niggle in my stomach, and it won't stop until I've done it. It's just this kind of, it's like a physical, so something's in there and it's turning around. It's not painful or anything. It's just, I can't rest until it's done. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you get that, but
I'll get a repeating idea around it over and over and over and over until I take a really hard look at it. Yep.
So everybody has their systems, but I think what you said about this kind of the doing as well is like when we're constantly doing, then we don't have time to listen to what our intuition is telling us, because again, we're on this hamster wheel, and this period in time has given a lot of people time to get off that wheel. And some have had to run faster, unfortunately, but there. But anyway, I hope that's been of help. And so it's bye from me.
And I will see you later as well.